All right, Josh Smith here, live from my Flat 5 studios. Today's guest is a good friend and an incredible player. We've known each other actually a long time now, but we definitely met at NAMM the first time. He's one of the preeminent educators in the guitar world for sure, but he's also just an incredible player and musician. He's got a bunch of great albums out, and if you're looking to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of guitar or you want to learn something, I always point people towards Tomo's channel on YouTube and on Instagram and his lessons, because I don't know anybody who does it better. So I'm proud to call him a friend and happy to have him here. Everybody, please welcome Tomo Fujita.
Thank you so much, Josh. That's amazing. Yes, I think we met first at the Eminence booth at the NAMM show, and then since then we become really good friends. And yeah, I learned so much from your playing too, because you mix really nice jazz and country and blues and everything. So that really influenced me too, good way.
Oh, thanks, Tomo, and right back at you with that. I mean, you're such a great player, but you're also so good at communicating to players and helping them learn. And I think that's that's a tough skill. Like, not everybody can teach effectively and communicate effectively, and so it's impressive how well you do that.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I think yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's because I think, when I came to United States around 86, I could not speak any English really well.
Right.
So I had a real difficult time communicating in English. So I really worked on my guitar skill.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow I got the teaching job, and I always like to help friends, So, this is, to me, really perfect job to tell people how to play well with what I like to do, So, I'm so fortunate. I'm so thankful for this one.
Well, we'll get into it in a little bit, but it's such an amazing world right now in the guitar player world. You can find a lane of which to be successful in that was not available to guitar players 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
You can create a whole industry, and it's amazing watching everybody kind of find something that's unique to them and build a whole little business around it. And so, yeah, that's inspiring too, seeing you do that. But I start all these interviews by asking everybody a little bit about their very beginnings with the instrument, especially their family being musical or not. My family was not musical, and the guitar was kind of random that it came to me. No one plays in my family. How did it end up with you? How did the guitar end up in your hands first?
Yeah, well, my family, my father, he likes karaoke or something like that, but not musical. But he used to listen to some jazz. So funny part is that he used to listen a lot disco music.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's all, Then my friends had a older brother, who listened a lot of Beatles, Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple. So first, when I was maybe 12, I was really into listening, Western music, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pop rock and blues. But that time I didn't really play my guitar. But then I saw my friend's brother got the Les Paul and started playing. That was when I was about 13. And then same time, I found a guitar at my relative's house, like an old classical guitar. And
Mm-hmm.
then a guy who owned the guitar says, you can bring home. So I remember, ride a motorbike of my father, driving. Then I think my relatives put the guitar with something around my body.
Yeah.
Think about it, that's really funny. They just in other words, that's, oh yeah, somebody gave it to us, whatever, you can have it. Yeah, that was the beginning. But then funny part is I always want to do something better, something different. So somehow I went to a record store that got the Yamaha. I still remember Yamaha, steel strings. I changed it. I don't know how to change it. I changed it, and then I start tuning up really high. This is a really funny story with my family. One night they heard a really big noise go boom like this. So the bridge came off, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh
that's the end
man,
of the story before I play guitar. That was it. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
what does your dad do for a living?
My dad do, screen printing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now it's kind of trend like a screen, printing for the t-shirts. But back then, he was like making design for the kimono or like these designs. So he's really good at it, hands.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's it's a tiny business, but he has he used to have a own business, right?
Well, I know in Japan, cultures obviously are different all around the world, but in Japan, isn't there a lot of expectation that the son will kind of follow in his father's footsteps a lot of the
Yeah, yeah.
time?
So this is really great because my grandfather started business, and
Uh,
then my father ruined the business, kind of. But the reason is because when my father was running the business, that's like like late 70s, early 80s.
uh,
That's when similar business started using more computer or machine. He
sure.
was still doing by hand. That's why his business went down.
Uh,
Then he was working part-time job like that. So my family really wasn't really rich or anything, just barely made it. But then yeah, so that was good because then I could choose anything I want.
yeah,
but
that's cool.
but the funny part is my relatives, again, very kind of stiff, but nice people. But they really told me, saying music is not great things to follow.
Mm,
No guarantee. Those things.
yeah.
So to please my parents, I stopped playing my guitar between 17 18. When I was 17, 18, I studied. They went to college.
Hmm.
Then, so once I got into college, then I started playing guitar again, and I play more funky stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
I found guy named Osamu Koichi, bass player, who just back then just got scholarship from Berkeley.
Uh-huh.
I found him because I was, living in a small town called Kyoto, so we
Hmm.
know everybody kind of. So I follow him, ask him too many questions. He hated me asking me a lot of questions because he want to concentrate practice something like that. But he really understood how much passion I had, so he really helped me.
Yeah.
Then I sent my demo tape to Berkeley when I was 19. Then I got a scholarship.
Wow.
Then
And
I
what?
told my parents, I'm going to America. They said, what? That was the first reaction. What? You went to college, you quit the college, go to America? What? But then I said, here, the scholarship. I got full scholarship. So they couldn't say no. That was
Yeah.
fun
Wow.
part. Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I can imagine their feeling of because yeah, that's a lot to send their son all the way
Yeah,
across the world somewhere when you don't speak
exactly.
English very well, and yeah, they think you're going to
Yeah,
college
no
for something
guarantee.
else. What were you
Right.
studying in regular college?
Russian.
Russian?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Because when I was high school, I researched what's the best business to go to. So if I learn Russian, then I can do more, like almost like almost business that need more translation. Yeah,
Wow.
like almost like a trading, bonds
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
And if I do that, when I got when I get the job, enough money to I can spend the time as a hobbyist. So
Wow.
that was my plan, but didn't work out great. And then that was torturing because almost 5 days a week, everything about Russian that you're not familiar with.
Wow.
And then sometimes you use English textbook to learn Russian or Japanese to. So that was crazy.
Do you retain any Russian?
No, not really. I know a little bit, but I learned how to be patient because that was given that I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. And
Yeah.
so I learned 1 year how to work with something I hate.
Which
Yeah.
is that's
So
an important
that
skill, you
right,
know?
that made me so much patient.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Then after that, playing music. So wow, what a world. I mean, amazing. Now my parents so happy because I'm professor at the Berkeley College of Music,
Yeah.
and my business doing so well. Every time I talk to my parents, I'm saying my business doing well, you know? So
Yes.
they are so happy.
That's great, man. And so,
Thank you.
okay, so before college, when you take that time off, you said 17, 18, you stopped
Yes.
playing for a year. But
Yeah.
did you play any gigs before that? Were you playing in any bands with friends or
No,
anything?
see the I only play like sort of a show at the high school, 16, 17. I play a little bit. I didn't play any gig, but I did actually jam session type of gig, a few times at the small club
Mm.
with, people that are much older than me. Yeah. And around there, I went, did one competition or something like that. I play rhythm guitar.
Uh,
Yeah. Actually, that was great. Actually, I play rhythm guitar for the competition, and then guitar player was really nice guy. Bass player was really nice guy also. And this guitar player, he gave me three albums. One is B.B. King Live at the Regal, and the other one is Freddie King.
wow.
1934 to 1976. That's the title, compilation. Then he gave me Otis Rush, Cold in Hell, the album. So
Woo.
the reason he gave me these because he said, I think you need to listen to these. Because
Wow.
I was really into Larry Carlton, fusion.
Yeah.
So he's a, suggestion is have these albums, listen to it. You need a more blues feeling.
Wow.
And he was right. And I didn't return this album either. I kept it.
Oh man. Well, what a
Yeah,
what a
see,
good like.
I'm
he gave
so
you a
lucky.
primer. Yeah.
I'm so lucky that some, people I met, everybody give me one piece of advice that totally right.
Wow. Amazing. Okay, so
Yeah.
when you get the scholarship and you make the decision to come to Berkeley, it
Yes.
had to be just like major culture shock and just crazy when you get there,
Yeah.
and yeah, you're surrounded by so many people who like the same things that you like and want to
Right.
do the things you want to do. What was that like?
But first, I always I had a dream to go to America because when I was 14, I started listening to Larry Carlton. Right away, I found stuff, Cornel Dupree, Robin
Mhm.
Ford, and all the American artists, and then start listening Kenny Burrell, Joe, especially Joe Pass, Wes Montgomery, around there, like Jim Hall, Grant Green, all that.
Yeah.
And one album I bought, Barney Kessel, Volume One, and back of album says, Barney Kessel was born Oklahoma, and then he saw Charlie Christian. He wanted to go to California from Oklahoma, and he asked his mother to get money, but then she said, "You need more money to get there." So dream was he only got the one-way tickets to go to Hollywood,
Yeah.
and he go to drive-in type of restaurant. He become washing dishes and all that job. Then he started audition. I read that so many times. I want to do that. So I had a dream to go to America to do something what I cannot do in Japan.
Yeah.
But one shock was I study English a little bit at the English school, but obviously English school they speak maybe slowly, very polite English stuff. But
Sure.
then when I go to Boston, first thing, hey man, what's up?
Yeah.
I go like, look up. I don't know. Because I learned, how are you? Oh, thank you. How about you? Like this,
Yeah.
at the English school. And then after Berkeley, hey, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah.
Like that. I remember first one is shocking. I played the first recital with friends. The guy came up to me and said, hey man, you sound bad. Wow, these are people so honest, I thought, I said, wow, thank you so much. You're so honest. That's what I said. No. What I meant, it's good. Oh, why that? You know, like that. So it's like that's more like a culture shock because
Yeah.
some of the meaning I don't understand.
Yeah. Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
and then
How could you?
first,
How could you?
probably first year, I had no idea what people talking about. Everything so fast that I don't understand. So again, I had to do decision. Okay, I stopped thinking and listening any Japanese. So at that point, about maybe 6 months at the Berkeley, I decided not to speak any Japanese to any friends.
Wow.
I start speaking English, and I listen to radio, turn the TV. I try to listen English, so I hear the phrasing, a little bit more. Then start just like a phrasing, picking up a little bit more. Two
Yeah.
five here, one and four, those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
English, so I have to do a little bit work on the English because second semester I joined a band called Stick People, that pop rock band by faculties. And then Alan Hall he's a leader. He said, "Hey, I'm gonna do da, 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 da. He talked about idea. So Tomo, do you understand? No." that was like a band meeting. First
Yeah.
thing, no.
No.
I mean, yeah, it's everything was like really interesting. Yeah, I mean, also sometimes I say something, my pronunciation was so bad that people just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a frustration. Sometimes I'm saying right. Like for example, like a really funny one. I go to gig right with these guys, and then I used to smoke cigarettes, right? So I go to the bar. Can I have a matches? But then maybe I have a little bit of accent, matches, like that. Then one time I got like snacks, munchies, like snacks. So then, like I like that one, but I need a fire. Like that's like always like some kind of funny thing. Like,
Not funny, man.
yeah.
But what's so cool about it, and I think can't be understated, is how much, not just faith, but how much you loved guitar that you were willing to go do that. It's not easy to go across the world to
That's
somewhere
true.
where you
Yeah.
don't even speak the language
Right.
and just drop yourself in there and make it work. But you're
Yeah.
only able to do that because you wanted it so bad and because you
That's
love
right.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, right now I tell my kids too. It's like a feeling on guitar is exactly the same when I'm 13.
Hmm.
All the differences I have to work to make a living. That's the only difference.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
Same
right.
thing. Until my mother said it's dinner, I just keep playing guitar. That's me. Same here. I always keep working something. My wife said it's dinner. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So guitar is everything to me.
Yeah.
Guitar is
Man, I
truly,
I
yeah.
completely understand. It's like
Yeah.
the fire does not go out.
No, it's so that's why like when people ask me one question, very difficult to answer. Hey Tomo, I need to ask you a question. Okay. How do you keep inspiring yourself?
Yeah.
Like I just don't understand because I want to get up early because I'm so excited about guitar,
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. It's not something you can teach to somebody. You
Yeah,
either
because
want to do it or
inspiration
you
has
don't.
really come from this, just everything, just yeah, so much inspiration on the guitar.
Yeah. Yeah.
It never, yeah, like you said, never really going down, never really,
Yeah.
still fires going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Only difficult part was English. Took me a while to really communicate, understand. I cannot believe I teach at the Berkeley,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
So okay, so let's backtrack a little bit. So
Yeah,
you're at Berkeley, you're playing gigs with different bands, and
yeah,
making friends and all that stuff.
yes.
When do you start to think about, whether you're going to stay in America and how you're going to make a living, all those types of
Oh,
things?
okay. So this is funny. When I arrived, Boston airport, when I arrived, I still remember that night time. I arrived, I'm really tired. I see everything I never see before.
Hmm.
Right away, I decide I want to live here.
Wow.
Really, because a lot of people ask me, so don't you feel like in any homesick? I never ever felt homesick. This is my home.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was really shocking. Usually, if you arrive at the airport, somebody pick me up and go to the somebody's apartment, stay a few days.
Hmm.
But everything was to me was just so exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
almost
how
like
did you
this.
figure out how to make it where you could stay? You know, how, because you had to figure out after school how you were
Right.
going to stay and how you were going to make a living and all those types of things. What was
Yeah,
your
but
plan?
funny part is I have too much passion, and then until very end, I didn't really decide what to do.
Hmm.
So interesting part is like this is very last year of at the Berkeley.
Hmm.
I was really working hard playing a band. But that time I was playing reggae band. I would
Okay.
just keep practicing, figuring out what to do, stay here. So I was thinking like how maybe get some like a working visa or all that stuff, right?
Hmm.
But then I met my wife.
Hmm.
Yeah, just and then um we married in 6 months.
Oh, I didn't realize it was so fast like that.
Yeah, but funny part is I had a little bit bad relationship before because I married once and
Hmm.
didn't work out. And then
Okay.
she had a really long relationship. We were very careful both each other.
Uh-huh.
So really, really careful. But then we really felt this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I was surprised. My mother said why she marry with you. I don't know. I don't know. She doesn't. Yeah. And then yeah. And now like guitar wisdom, that's my wife's older brother. We do the business together.
Hmm. Yeah.
So her family is really nice. We all get together, already. Yeah. So that was just happened. And I didn't even think about anything. I just keep working hard. And then yeah, then what happened is right after I graduate, and then I taught Berkeley, 5 week like that, and then we did a guitar session. I did a guitar session, and right after that, about 92, 93, Berkeley asked me to join as
That
faculty.
quickly after you graduated.
Yeah, usually not that quick. Usually takes a long time. They don't want to hire anything. Yeah, but what happened was back then, early 90s, still a lot of people play clean tone jazz. Only
Hmm.
few guys use overdrive distortion to play more, rock. And
Yeah.
then I was back then actually 91, 93 around there. I was so into Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Hmm.
Everything about Stratocaster, TS9, Fender
Yeah.
amp, that kind of
Sure.
guy.
Yeah.
So right timing they want to hire me.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, because I can teach blues and I can teach jazz and I can teach funky stuff. So a little bit different. So oh, funny part is good thing I didn't play too much jazz.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I always
Yeah. No,
practice jazz.
you ended up finding, your niche because you have the mix of all those things together.
Yeah,
And you've listened to, you've listened to the right blues and you understand, and you understand harmony and jazz,
yes.
but you're not a jazz snob, you know what I mean?
Right,
And
right, right, right.
yeah.
Yeah, because blues, I mean, still we use a little theory, a little bit of knowledge. We use brain, but still a little bit more about the feeling,
Of
than
course. Yeah.
technical thing, right? So yeah, that's what they need. And then first I made a Steve Ray Vaughan ensemble at Berkeley, and
Okay.
remember back then, chair of uh, ensemble department came to my ensemble. First thing he asked me, "Where's the charts?" You see, Berkeley must have a charts to play, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I didn't have a charts, and then chair of the departments asked, "Where's charts?" I said, "Charts are here." So this is what I did. I made a source tape I call it. Like almost idea tape.
Yeah.
And then I ask students listen to the tape. Then a couple weeks before we learn tape by ear. Then I explain about the form and all that stuff. Then we go through. So we don't use any charts, nothing
Oh,
written.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like
just
an
like you.
audible syllabus. Yeah.
Yeah. So just like you join a blues band, somebody gave you a cassette tape and you listen to, you learn. Next week you play, something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. So I didn't realize it was so quick between when you graduated Berkeley and when you started working at Berkeley.
Yeah, so I start teaching. I was probably a very young guy back then because that was 1993, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did
Yeah,
you
and we
teach
married. Yeah.
Krasno there?
Yeah, I taught Shuminov too. Shuminov,
Oh, nice.
Krasnov,
I
and
just
John Mayer.
interviewed Krasno yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I taught Krasnov. Yeah. Yeah. He was
Nice.
he was a little kid. He
Yeah.
was 18,
Yeah.
very quiet. Yeah.
Yeah, nice, man. Man, I mean, do you get a lot of, I'm sure you do, but you must feel some pride for all the guitar players that not just at Berkeley, but now around the world
Yeah.
that you help, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe you're the one who lights the spark for them and gets them going, you must take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah, well, I feel really good about my job and their efforts and everything. And this is so much about the friendship and kind of working together. And I mean, everything, so good. Yeah,
Mhm.
and not only somebody made a name, and there's so many people who made more like different way. Somebody not doing the guitar, but then different business, and actually few guys took my lesson. They really learned from me how to be patient, how to be really picky about all the detail. And then
Mhm.
several people went to more business to make more money so that they can enjoy their guitar. And
Yeah.
several people become really, really successful that way.
Wow.
And one more, one person, he's actually both are living in LA, and one person was taking my private lesson,
Mhm.
and then one person was taking my blues guitar class. Those got married.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's actually cool. My student married.
Wow.
That's really different. Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, man. I
yeah,
mean, so how do you balance now your time? Yeah, I mean,
very
I
difficult. Yeah, very. Yeah, so I'm 55, and this coming September 11th, I will become 56.
Mhm.
So that's why 2 years ago I made online lesson site called Guitar Wisdom.
Right.
First, I wasn't really into to make that because I was more like old school. I thought teaching private lesson is better, of course better, but
Yeah.
the problem is I get so many email requests about the lessons. And when pandemic started in the beginning, I taught probably 80 hours a month, just a Skype lesson
I
alone.
bet.
Yeah. So it's good. I make people happy. It's good. But I don't get my own time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
that's a
lot.
problem. Right. So thankful to my wife, Beth, she asked me about 3 years ago, Tomo, I want you to do online lesson and don't do this private lesson because you just don't have time. You can't do this forever. Trust me, kind of deal.
Right.
Okay, I listened to it. And then my brother-in-law want to do some business with me. We always talk about things, right? And
Mhm.
okay, his name is George, by business. So George, you do video editing, you do all taxes, business, all that stuff. I come up with lesson, I make a lesson. If you do that, I will do it. And so that was 1990, 2019,
Mhm.
about the March,
Yeah.
1 year before the pandemic.
Right.
And we started. And then first gradually like this, gradually, then what happened is to kind of turn around. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Then I can say private lesson, oh, sorry, I can't do that anymore because I have. So that's now I make a balance because I spend quality time making really, really good contents. Then I work with my brother-in-law. Now we have about people from subscriber from 98 different countries now.
Wow.
Amazing, doing really, really well. So that way, now I don't have to teach so much private lesson, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
that's how
amazing.
I kind of see, like I love, see that's always a problem. I love teaching, I love playing, but you cannot do everything.
You can't. No. No.
Right. So I used to go, just probably, you know, I used to go to Japan so many times, 2, 3 times. Each time I spend 2 weeks. But if I go there, here, week before, I have to go to Berkeley in a weekend. I have to fill out all the classes before I miss.
Right.
They come back and I have to do same thing again so that I don't miss anything.
Right.
So almost like going to Japan, I have to work twice more, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just changed, yeah. Yeah.
Well, there's only so much you can do. I mean, I know even just for me personally,
Yes.
you know, I hadn't spent any time on YouTube until the pandemic started. And I thought, well, I'll try, you know,
Yeah.
to make some videos. And for a while, I did a lot. I did 2, 3
Yes.
videos every week. And, you know,
Yeah.
I'm editing them. I'm putting in the effort and making the videos. And then
Right.
when things start to come back, not to normal, but a little bit, you know, and I've got this
Right.
record
You
to
have to
do
play-
and this
you have to
thing,
play.
I don't have the time, you know what I
Right.
mean, to make these
Exactly.
videos.
Yeah.
And I think it's really difficult to balance out all those things.
I know it's really hard. Yeah, some people really do well. Yeah, and I wish I can play my own gig, but fortunately, like, you know, a couple weeks ago, like a Pigeon playing ping pong, they have a, like, you know, band that has amazing followers, you know,
Yeah.
lighting, video, camera. So these guys really nice that they invite me sometime here and there. So that's really my like, you know, pleasure to play in front of people, you know, great show, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man.
It's
Wow.
hard.
Well,
Yeah.
it's hard, man. But dude, it's inspiring seeing. I just love, my favorite thing about you, besides your playing, is just your passion for guitar and talking about it, playing it, teaching it, and you always keep such a positive attitude about this whole little world that we're in. Because you know what it is? It's awesome. Like we make so many friends and we have so many great things from this instrument, and I feel like you never lose that feeling.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, that I'm always positive, you know, really positive, and that's my nature. Because when I was a kid, I was really picky about things. You know, my mother's always, you know, a little picky about things, so that I always kind of worry about little things, you know, then concern what people think, you know, all that stuff, right? But then gradually, you know, I learned from all my friends. Then some people don't really pay attention in a good way, not don't care, you know, it's different. If you don't care, then when you sleep, it comes up to you, then you can think and you can sleep. What I do is I try to really understand totally, then I don't pay attention. So it's healthy, you know.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, like, you know, if I driving in highway, somebody cut off like that, I just don't get angry. I just go.
No, you know, road rage for you.
Yeah, no. Then my wife gets really angry. Oh, well, not angry, but just, you know, she gets a little bit more naturally, you know, express her feeling, because she's half Italian.
Okay.
Italian, you know, Italian people go, oh, you know, like, I, you know, she gets a little bit like, you know, kind of a, oh, you know, like, you know, boiled up a little bit, I going down, you know. So sometimes I have to, you know, keep up with her, right?
Yeah. Wow. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to get into the 10 questions here.
Sure.
Number 1, when you first started learning and playing guitar, what was the first riff or little thing that when you figured it out, it was so exciting, like you couldn't believe you learned that it, you know, there was no turning back after that? That was the one that set the hook.
That's hard to say. I mean, like, you know, I still believe, like, you know, when I found E minor chord, and I thought really cool to put, and and I noticed like I input about like that. That's E minor. That was like really hooked, really. And then that was like more like acoustic guitar side. And
Yeah.
the electric guitar, I think, I found this like something like after power chords and a pentatonic. Once I learned this 9th and the 13th, I play all day long like that, I think that way maybe I really went to more funk stuff like that. Like you see, like this is it's a little hard to do, but once you learn 9th. So that's a lot of variation. So I went really crazy about those.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, because those first few improvisations that you're able to do, even when you have, this much vocabulary, you can still improv like crazy with that much vocabulary. It's like and it feels magical.
Yeah. True.
Amazing. All right, number 2. What was the first solo that you ever learned note for note, or that you loved so much?
Oh, I think first. See, the funny part is the beginning. I cannot play anything, but then gradually, I just learn, few phrases here and there. But then, I spent so many hours to learn Larry Carlton, like Room 335.
Yeah.
I learned that note for note. Yeah, I probably look at a little bit tablature here and there, probably. But that was hooked because I remember I made a 90 minutes cassette tape, side A, side B. I record Room 335, repeating.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah, that way, that was my own loop because I just flip it out, then I listen same song over and over.
And what's amazing is I bet you could, it doesn't matter how many years go by, and you can not play Room 335. If you think about it for 5 seconds, it'll all come back because you played it so many times.
Yeah. Because that like I mean, beginning, it's a kind of pentatonic, but then so those are something bending like that. I forgot the phrasing, but but then when I was really doing that, I noticed, wow, that same phrase, but then I found a different position because the phrasing is so good, That song really taught me so much.
Yeah. Amazing. That's a good one to have learned.
Right? Yeah, that's really great song. Yeah.
All right, number 3. What's the first thing you play every time you pick up a guitar? Do your hands just go like on autopilot to something?
Autopilot.
Like without thinking, when you just pick it up, what just happens every time?
I think the first thing I usually do, like, I play one phrase like that, or like that, just, play chords like, So I have a kind of set stuff, Yeah. I always play dominant chords, kind of a chromatic going up and down, because that way I can really hear everything like all good,
Yeah, it's like you're checking.
How about you? What do you play when you play the first thing?
It depends. Like if I'm just sitting here in the studio,
what do you do?
Like I'll probably play a shuffle, like.
Oh, okay. See, that's great. You play right away. You play song.
Usually, always in time. Something in time.
Right. Yeah, that's why. If I play right here, right. I probably play like that. Now, I don't think I play shuffle, but usually kind of.
Like a slow blues.
or sometimes even like I play like something I like this. I stay one so long. I don't really go even to go to four.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, but it's similar. I play sort of a blues,
Yeah.
related stuff, right?
But like
By
at a
the way,
gig.
but I bought this guitar.
Oh, nice. Yeah, we were just talking about it.
Yeah, it's great guitar.
Yeah, sounds great. What's funny is at a gig,
Yes.
when I hit standby on the amp to first
Yeah.
check and make sure
Yeah.
everything's okay, I don't
Right.
play a song like that. I play more like
Oh,
what
yeah,
you
yeah,
played
yeah.
earlier, something that moves up the neck. You know.
Right. Yeah. I see.
Something to get comfortable. You know what I mean? And
Right.
Make sure
Yeah,
the amp
definitely.
works and all that.
Yeah. That's why I'm saying a sound check I usually like that. I just make sure like low to high, everything good, you know.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
That's a good question. I like
Yeah.
that.
All right, number 4.
Yeah.
What key or style or song or groove, maybe it's what we just talked about,
Yeah.
but what do you hear in your head the most when you're not doing anything? When you're just like cooking or taking a walk? Because I
Oh.
hear that shuffle all the time. I just always hear ba-ding, ba-ding, but then I'm hearing ba-doo-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
I
It
see.
never goes away. You know,
Yeah.
what
That's true.
most often is in there for you?
I think usually slow blues.
Slow blues. Yeah.
Yeah, slow blues or something like that. It's sometimes like I'm cooking. Dun, 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 da, 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 dun, dun, da, da, da. I sing, right? So the bass line going down.
Yeah,
My wife always say, "Are you singing Led Zeppelin?" You know, she always say because she thinks that that song.
Yeah.
That bass line. Yeah, so I love swing too. It's like a swing shuffle. That's
Yeah.
When I walk, I always hear swing shuffle because that's really the tempo.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's similar because we love blues, so that's why I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love funk, but I can really funk when I'm cooking. It's probably more blues. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
Okay, number
Okay.
5. When did you feel like on your journey, like maybe you were starting to find a voice on the instrument that was yours, like your personal
Okay.
voice?
Yeah.
Do you remember
Good.
any moments of that?
Okay. Yeah. Good question. I think around 1995, 94, 95, that's when I felt I have a style.
Mm.
The reason is, okay, give you quick. Up till I finished Berkeley, I was really focusing on becoming Larry Carlton, Jay Graydon, Steve Lukather, you know, really studio guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
studio musician I was into. So I was really figuring out a lot of different voicing, different style, effects, whammy burn, all that stuff. But then when I graduated from Berkeley and that 1991, I told you I really changed. Okay, no EMG, no whammy burr, regular guitar. So I bought Steve Ray Vaughan Stratocaster around 1992 or 3. And then I bought the Pro Reverb because I was using twin reverb too heavy. Then I cut down all pedal board, no reverb. I'm sorry, no delay, no compression, nothing. Only, I had a Cologne TS9 Volkswagen pedal. Then start playing blues gigs. Then I realized that was 91, 92. I don't have a blues. I'm shocking. I really felt I just don't have a really blues naturally.
Mm-hmm.
That was 1991. I was shocking to find out myself. No blues. And so I made a rule myself. From now, 1991, now on, I should not play any jazz. Don't play any 2/5s. Pretend you don't know any jazz. So that was like a hard. After that, I just went to all the record store, bought so many blues records, start listening all the records, little bit more like, older, like style, Yeah, then Earl Hooker, or somebody a little bit
Yeah.
more obscure blues player, and these I listen every day. So almost I forced myself to have more blues.
Mm-hmm.
Then took about 4 years. See, 1995. That's when I started writing my own song. One song called Crossing
Mm-hmm.
is a little bit more bluesy, little jazzy, and everything else, but all dominant chords.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I think I had a style, not so much overdrive sound, little light overdrive, no delay.
Yeah.
Someday I have to play for you my recording from 1991.
Yeah.
Very,
Oh,
very
yeah.
fusion. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot harmonized parts and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
different.
I want to
But
hear it.
anyway, so that was yeah, that's the time. Yeah,
Nice. Yeah, and it's
thank you.
when you kind of came to the realization that, yeah, it's interesting. You like to put rules on yourself. You're like, I'm not going to speak Japanese now. I'm not going to play
Right. Well,
anything but blues now. I'm not going to, yeah.
yeah. You notice it because I like maybe rules because I did a karate too. So like coming from Japan, a little bit more like a strict about things. So maybe like force myself. Oh, don't do this, but do this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
quicker.
Yeah. 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 All right.
It
Number
works.
6.
Okay.
What do you consider your biggest weakness on the guitar?
Biggest weakness on the guitar. Time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's in a way you think everybody think I have a good time skill, but that didn't come naturally. I really forced myself to make better about the rhythm.
Mm,
So every time I listen to myself on a performance, always I don't like some of the rhythm I do. Not really. I give you an idea. You have a great rhythm very naturally. Mansfield has amazing rhythm very naturally. To me, my rhythm is really weak, but then I really force myself to train to get better at.
hmm. I
Yeah. So
wonder. I wonder. I mean, because to me, so much of my rhythm is just from the sheer amount of gigs I played when I was young. I was
right,
such a
right,
young
right.
kid, and I played
Yeah,
so many gigs with seasoned adults that it
yeah.
kind of
Then
forced me to
right,
get a pocket
right.
together.
Then you played with good players. But here's
Yeah,
the thing, right? When I was 14, 16, 17, there's no bands that
yeah,
playing blues or funk or like that. And then if you get play with people, it's drum or bass, okay, not excellent. So more you play, sometimes people say you have to play with people, you have to more play, but that means you have to play with better people or
yeah,
good player. That's why you gain.
yeah.
Like yeah, today somebody asked me, so where's a great jam session in Boston?
Mm,
you know, I don't know, but some people think going to jam session is good, but if players are not greatest, then sometimes you can't really learn well.
mm, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's why when I was 14, I bought a metronome. I stopped practicing a lot rhythm. I still practice with metronome. Yeah,
yeah. But it's funny too that even that helps your time. But there
yes,
is a big, like you said, a difference between that time and like living, breathing time with good musicians
exactly.
on
Yeah,
stage. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So like I use metronome, but I had a great experience through the years with a great musician. So time is kind of a more like a rubber bands, kind of move a little bit, stretch it a bit here and there. If
yep,
you don't know, then if you only practice metronome, oh, definitely too mechanical, right?
yep, yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
right.
exactly. All right, cool.
All right.
Number 7. Who's a
Okay.
big influence on your guitar playing that people would be surprised to hear?
Oh, well, like at first, Larry Carlton,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, bending style, a lot of harmony. And definitely Cornel Dupree.
Mm-hmm.
See, I learned from each one. Cornel Dupree, I think, taught me clean tone
Mm.
because I listen to him. I always don't hear any effect, but
Yeah.
his existence of his like authority of his sound is so present, so strong, even no
Oh yeah. Yes.
distorted. So that really made me um, strong about my clean tone. And I learned from Robert Ford not to use delay because he always uses short delay. I always felt why he doesn't use long delay because he has great rhythm. If you use long delay, covers everything. That's like a influence, not use. I don't know which one is surprising, but and Steve, of course, Steve Ray Vaughan, so much influence. BB King,
Mm.
hmm, tough, tough.
Yeah. Nobody
Yeah.
way out in left field that would be just like, what you love, like
Oh,
someone.
I see. Not really, kind of hard. I don't know. I can really tell. And then, of course, Jimmy Vaughn, simplicity. Always like respect the simplicity. I'm not sure people really understand. I love how much I love Joe Pass, like a solo guitar style. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, that's maybe people no because I love Joe Pass. Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's. How about you? I want to know
Oh
what's the.
man, so many like out of left field. I mean, especially so many, horn players,
Oh,
organists,
that mean
but
yeah, definitely.
singers, big
Yeah.
time singers for me. Like like Sam Cooke was a huge influence on my guitar playing.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that.
I see. So
Yeah,
that okay. I'm thinking. I was yeah. That's why I asked because I was thinking a little bit more. Too many. Thinking about the guitar player.
yeah,
It's like rhythm wise, Steve Gadd.
yeah,
His rhythm is always amazing. So my time skill level, I always wish have like Steve Gadd, and the singer. One album I listened so many times. Donny Hathaway live.
of course, yeah,
So anything that R&B singing like that. So I think that's why my style made from a lot of singing.
mm,
Ray Charles, Stevie Wonder, all the great singer, and then horns, of course, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I listen so much horns, and that really influenced. Chet Baker, I listen so much Chet
Oh
Baker,
yeah, yeah,
Sonny Rollins, yeah, Sonny Stitt, because Charlie Parker was too fast, so Sonny,
yeah,
Sonny Stitt is kind of cool. He plays a little bit slower.
yeah, yeah.
And rare one, Ben Webster, Coleman Hawkins. Those guys I just listen so much about phrasing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I made a more space between the notes.
Yeah. Well, those guys
Yeah,
exactly. It was always
yeah,
more relatable to me because I could, I could figure that stuff out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, yeah. Of course, Earth and Fire is always like my hero. Those guys. Yeah.
Uh,
I have. I mean, I'm like that. This is a good question because I have so many artists I listen to, so really, yeah, let me think about that. That's actually a good question. Maybe I have to
all
surprise people.
right. Number 8.
Oh,
Would you rather have on a gig a great guitar and a really bad amp, or a great amp and a really shitty guitar?
oh, that's good question. I can do either way, but I prefer better amp.
Me too.
Yeah, probably because if it's great guitar and amp is not really making anything really attractive, very difficult to do that. But
Hmm.
amp is really like a Dumble or a Fender or something really great. And then guitar is not happening. Then I imagine the guitar is really good guitar. Maybe works.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm 100% with you. I'd be
Okay,
much more comfortable with an amp that at least has a good bass, has the right amount of headroom,
right.
as opposed to, even if I can play my guitar
Uh
through a
huh.
terrible amp, that will be a worse gig than the other way
Right.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Okay. That's a good one.
We're on the same page.
Same page. Right.
Yeah. All right. Number 9. We touched
Yeah.
on this earlier when we were talking. but I'm curious what keeps you motivated to learn new stuff when you spend so much time teaching and talking and playing already. What keeps you invested in like growing as a player and learning new things?
Yeah, okay. So that's a good question. The reason is I really see value of musicianship, technique, musicality from people. And I really judge right, way to do it. So if I do that, I always find many better players than me. So I just don't try to be number one. That's not my number one choice. And I always feel I am a forever student. That's how I feel. In other words, I'm not master everything. I know a little bit more than anybody else, but not master everything perfectly. So
Hmm.
I keep my head open, it means headroom open, so that still all things comes in. More I learn, more little I know. That's how I feel. More I know the detail, little I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's kind of humble, but that's really true.
Well, it's a healthy attitude, and I mean, and that's the thing. Like you said, no matter how much you know, there's still more you don't, and no matter
Yes,
how well you play, there's
yeah,
still guys who could play more than you and could do
that's
the,
right.
So
Yeah,
it
and
doesn't end.
that's exactly. Also, live show. No matter how much you prepare, each live show is really turns out a different way
Oh
and
yeah,
very unique way. So, always something to do. Yeah.
yeah, nice.
That's why, when people ask me, I have a question, how do you motivate yourself? How to inspire yourself every day? So to me, you see my room, a lot of guitars. I love guitars.
Yeah,
And it's so much to do. Now I'm really into acoustic.
mm,
Crazy.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that leads us into number 10, which is
Okay.
where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you have a bunch of plans that you really want to accomplish? Are there some
Yeah.
very specific things, or what do you want? Where do you want to be in 5 years?
5 years, yes. Okay. So I want to be a little bit more successful with my business so that I can bring my wife, kids all over the country. Then may if I could, I just bring one guitar to do a solo guitar gig
Mm,
everywhere.
yeah,
So in order to do that, YouTube, I want to have more than 1 million followers in YouTube.
yeah.
And so that social media, already I have tons of followers and communication. And so that 2, 3 years later, I can do that more enjoy, because yeah, we all want to do gigging, but sometimes gigging really hard work and financially very difficult to gain so much. So
Very
a
difficult.
lot of different way to do. So that's my kind of wild dream.
Is to make YouTube and everything to a level where you're able to travel around and play more and take your family with you.
Yeah, so like traditional way to do it is like you open up some famous people and go around the club to club so that
Hmm.
your name going gradually get to know people.
Yeah.
Then you this album and all that, right? So nowadays, like internet is like sometime influencers or YouTube famous whatever.
Uh huh.
Sometimes you can use old way to do it, new way to do it. So I just have a hope to do new ways, and not just going small gigs everywhere,
Yeah.
just make a more social media thing. It's all free. So to get better, you just keep working. And I have a 373,000 followers on YouTube, and I have
Oh,
256,000 on Instagram. I never paid anybody to do anything. I just
no.
did everything by myself, pretty much. With the help of you now here, well, everything. But so that's
Yeah.
my wild dream.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I hope you get to that level that you want to get, so you're able to do that more of that traveling.
Yes,
And I hope you make more records, man.
I know. Yeah, yes, definitely. That I love to do that too. So next records, I want to do this solo
Yes.
guitar by acoustic. I
Nice.
never, I never done. solo guitar. So album could be having acoustic guitar, maybe a couple of electric, but all solo guitar because
Yeah.
I love to play solo guitar, but never done that. So
Nice. Well, that'll be
yeah,
nice, man.
and then
Well, dude,
definitely I want to go to your studio to make some noise
please.
with friends too. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Please do, man.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that's the end of the 10 questions, man.
Okay.
It's so great to hear your story and all that, And I follow
Thank you.
everything you do. I watch all your videos. I
Oh, thank you so
especially
much.
love when you post the stuff with your parents and the trains that you send your dad. That's my
Oh
favorite.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, because my father, really simple guy, he's 83.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is like, they live in a house and they have a lot of rooms, right? So he turned one of the room, make us a listening room.
Mm-hmm.
So he's using my old cassette recorder, amplifier, and record player. Then he started listening my old records. Really funny. He puts a lot of speakers, right? And he's really good at it. So he make like cabinets and all that stuff by himself, cuts everything like that. And then he made a really nice like layout about the train.
Yeah.
And then I was looking something to give him something fun. So I found one guy on the eBay selling little train made in America. Very rare to find everything made in America. So I bought so many trains from him.
Yeah.
So every month I pack these trains sent to my father.
That's awesome.
Keep him busy.
It's so great, man.
Yeah.
So great. I love it.
Yeah. And my father, we do like this, Zoom or Skype, once at least like once a month.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's fun because my mother she's 80 and my father 83. They are just having fun now.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, dude, there will be links to all things Tomo here in the description of the video. So please support Tomo. You should be subscribing to his YouTube channel, subscribe to his Guitar Wisdom website, buy his records. You need to support this guy. And for the rulers, we're going to come back in a minute and do the turn 2. If you're not, please subscribe to my channel as well. But
that's right.
Dude, thank you for doing this, Tomo. I
thank you
love
so
you,
much.
man. I'm so happy.
Honored. Yeah. Sure. Thank you so much. Great.
You're welcome, man. All right, rulers. We'll be right back.
All right.
Thanks, Tomo.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. That was great. Yeah.